The trade war is over. But the winner isn't who you think, and the losers? They're America's closest allies. What just happened will reshape global politics for the next decade, and 99% of people missed it completely. In the next minutes, I am going to show you exactly how America just pulled off the most brutal diplomatic victory in decades. We'll break down the shocking terms of these deals, reveal why France is calling it a dark day for Europe, and expose the trillion-dollar strategic gamble that can either cement American dominance or destroy the Western alliance forever. But first, if geopolitics and global economics fascinate you as much as they fascinate me, smash that subscribe button. We're about to dive deep. Here's what just happened. The United States has locked in trade deals with the European Union, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Sounds normal, right? Wrong. These aren't normal deals. These are surrender documents. Picture this. America gets to keep all its protective tariffs. Europe, Japan, and the UK, they can't fight back. Zero retaliation allowed. But wait, it gets absolutely insane. Not only did these countries agree not to defend themselves economically, they're also committing billions in additional investment into the United States. Let me say that again. America's allies just agreed to pay America for the privilege of being economically dominated by America. This isn't a trade deal. This is a protection racket with a diplomatic signature. So how did they pull this off? How do you get your closest allies to basically surrender without firing a shot? Here's the playbook. Step 1. Create artificial urgency. Remember those tariff threats? The August 1st deadline that had markets panicking? That wasn't random timing. Step 2. Divide and conquer. Notice they didn't negotiate with the West as a bloc. They picked off each ally separately. EU, then UK, then Japan. Classic strategy. Step 3. Offer the illusion of choice. Accept our terms, or face economic warfare. When your only options are submission or destruction, submission starts looking pretty attractive. But here's what makes this absolutely brutal. The nitrogen monoxide retaliation clause in trade negotiations. That's like agreeing to a boxing match where only your opponent gets to throw punches, and they ALL agreed to it. Now, I want to know what you think in the comments. Are we witnessing a masterstroke of American strategy, or the stupidest diplomatic move in history? Because what I'm about to show you next suggests it could be both in Paris. French Prime Minister just delivered what might be the most devastating political statement of the year. He called this, and I'm quoting directly, a dark day for Europe. But he didn't stop there. He said Europe has resigned itself to submission. When was the last time you heard a Western leader use that word? That's not diplomatic language. That's the language of defeat, of humiliation, of complete capitulation. And here's the kicker. While Bayrou is openly calling this what it is, other European leaders are staying silent. The cracks in the alliance aren't just showing, they're becoming chasms. This isn't just about trade anymore. This is about national pride, about sovereignty, about whether Europe still has any independent will left. So why would America risk destroying relationships with its closest allies? Why push for such humiliating terms? Because this was never about Europe. It was never about Japan or the UK. This was always about China. Think about it strategically. By forcing its allies into submission, America just accomplished something incredible. It eliminated a two-front economic war. All those resources, all that political capital that was being spent managing disputes with Europe and Japan, it's now free to focus on the main event. And right on cue, where are US and Chinese negotiators meeting right now? Stockholm. The real negotiations are back on. But the game has completely changed. America isn't coming to the table as a country fighting multiple enemies. It's coming as the undisputed leader of a unified, if resentful, Western bloc. So on the surface, this looks like a total American victory. They won. They dominated their allies and cleared the deck for China. But here's the trillion-dollar question that's keeping strategists awake at night. By proving to the world that America will always put America first, even at the expense of humiliating its closest friends. Has Washington won the battle but lost the war? Because here's what nobody's talking about. A humiliated Europe doesn't just disappear. A sidelined Japan doesn't just accept its fate forever. These are proud nations with their own interests, their own ambitions. What happens when they start looking for other partners? What happens when China, the ultimate master of long-term strategy, starts offering these humiliated allies a different vision, a partnership based on mutual respect instead of submission. We might be watching the moment America's short-term tactical victory becomes China's long-term strategic triumph. This story is just beginning. The real consequences, the shifting trade flows, the new alliances, the commodities that will boom and crash, that's all playing out right now. Behind the headlines, I break down all of this in my newsletter, The Merchant's News. The deep analysis, the data nobody else is tracking, the second and third order effects that will determine the next decade. Link is in the description. But before you go, I want to hear your take. Was this a masterstroke or a catastrophic mistake? Are we watching the end of the Western Alliance as we know it? Let me know in the comments. And if this kind of analysis is valuable to you, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Because while everyone else is focused on surface level news, we're going to keep digging into what's really happening behind the scenes. The geopolitical game just changed forever. The question is, who's really going to win? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.